Well, hi there, and welcome back. It's Sharon again, and I'm here today with part 2 of our marketing and branding series. Now, we talked about marketing, why you need a marketing calendar, why you need a CRM or, a place to keep your leads. We talked about direct mail and how that works last time. We've talked about websites, and we talked about the way that marketing and branding work together as a couple. While one piece is essential for the other piece to work together, because marketing is how you get leads and branding is why they choose you. So today I want to talk about really what is your branding, because people think it's fonts and colors and all the physical attributes of a brand. Those are important, but at its essence, your brand is what people say about you. It's how they feel about you. It's the feeling you leave them with. So some people say it's what they say about you after you walk out of the room. That's an important thing to realize, that every time you show up in a certain way. And you should be showing up in a certain way that's in alignment with your brand. That's why it's important that you present yourself at every interaction with sellers, with investors, with everyone you meet online and offline in a certain way. You want it to be congruent with the way you want people to feel about you and to think about you. So there are many ways that your brand comes across. So it comes across offline in meetings as you interact with other people. That's one way, one big way that your brand begins to kind of fold around you. But your brand actually starts before that. It starts with your website, with your online presence, with your social media presence. So you can see how if you are trying to portray that you are the reliable person to work with, let's say you want them to choose you, but you've got a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on in your social media accounts, they're going to have trouble reconciling those two things. So you need to make sure that you keep a close watch on your online presence. Now, I'm not suggesting that you remove all personal stuff or that you don't be who you are. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that make sure that all of these things together put forward the presence and the way you want people to think about you. So be sure that you watch all of those things. Now, your brand shows up when you create content like a video, or if you write an article, whatever you do, your brand and who you are shows up in all of those things. And when it comes to creating content, I'd kind of like to throw this in there. The fastest way to get known in your market, to get your brand out there and for people to really know why they should choose you, is through video. It is the fastest way to get known of all the mediums. Content builds the know, like, and trust method like no other thing can. A picture on your website cannot portray that, but a video can portray that. And when we talk about doing a website video, we're talking, 60 seconds, 1 or 2 minutes. Not, that's another whole topic, how to do that. But it should be short, to the point, and you should be yourself. And when you can also create content with your iPhone. Let's say that you are looking at a property, a really ugly, distressed property. You can take pictures of the property. Now, be careful not to show the address or identifying things about the property, but you can take simple pictures with your phone and post those on social media, and you can start to build an online presence. And I'll tell you a story about a friend of mine who did that over time. He was driving for dollars, always posting pictures of properties he was looking at. He would say, boy, look at this one. This is a real mess. I love it. I'm going to try to put in an offer on it. But he would keep people updated on his what he was doing. And he did nothing more than post simple pictures of properties. But one day, this person needed money. His private money lender couldn't get their money back in time to close on a deal. And he actually went on Facebook and said, I need some money for 48 hours. I cannot close this deal because my private money lender is not going to get their money back in time. Who can help me out? This particular person had built such an online presence just through these simple pictures, the simple, shots of the properties, and just by showing up as a rock solid real estate investor out there hustling all the time, that he had a complete stranger loan him money to close that deal. And that is a true story. So creating content doesn't have to be hard, but you do need to do it. And you can put it on social media. There are many places that you can create content. I wrote about 150 articles for Bigger Pockets. I've written articles for different other places, REI Wealth, different things like that. But you don't even have to go to that length to get your name out there. So this is why you want to bother with content. Now, we talked a little bit about the way sellers choose you, the old way and the new way. So the old way was, last time in the other video, we talked about how they would get a marketing piece from you, or they would find out about you in some way. And if you sounded good, if you looked good, they would just choose you and have you come make an offer on their property. Well, it's not that way anymore. They're going to get your marketing piece, or they're going to be referred, or however they come to know about you, maybe through your website. They're going to know about you. And then they're going to go online and they're going to look you up. They are going to do a deep dive into your social media platforms. They're going to Google your name and they're going to find out everything they need to know about you and whether or not they should do business with you. Then and only then do you get the call. So understand how all of this works together and why it is so important to build your brand. Actually, my biggest regret around my business is that I did not start to build my brand immediately. I was like most people. I didn't know that as a brand new investor that I should still be consciously building my brand. And that's what I really want you to learn today is even if you're brand new, this is important. Start where you are and then start to build out the pieces that will create your online presence, that will help to create your brand when you're standing in front of someone talking to them about a property. So, you don't have to do what I've done, have a blog, have a podcast and all of that. You can do a much simpler version of all of that and get great results. Today, because of content creation, I have organically built a national and somewhat of an international brand, but that serves you only if you're doing it, in the right way. For me, I did that through the podcast and through the blog. But if you're working in a local market, you don't need to do that. You just need for people to know who you are. They need to know who you are. You need to know people for sure, but they really need to know who you are. So what are the benefits of building a brand and how does that tie in with your marketing? Well, you will get more deals and you'll get a more consistent deal flow. Once you tie your marketing to your branding and they're all congruent, they all match up together, you will get more deals and you'll get more consistent leads in the door. You will get opportunities that you really can't imagine today. If you might get invited to speak to a group, speak on a panel, something that's really low stress, but you'll always be ahead of someone else. That's why you just have to take baby steps and step into all of this. It doesn't have to be hard, but you will be forced to get out of your comfort zone. And that's how you will make great progress in your business. Now, I had a friend who was always posting on Facebook. His name was Jeff, and he did direct mail religiously, just to a small group of people. One day, his direct mail piece landed in the hands of someone that was in a hedge fund. They had a property to sell, but somehow the synergy took place where they got this direct mail piece. He ended up buying a large portfolio of properties for pennies on the dollar. They all had tenants. He got a private money lender. I think, as I recall, the purchase price was $600,000. It was like 100 properties, $6,000 each in maybe C- areas, maybe D. I'm not really sure. About 18 months or so later, another hedge fund came back to him and offered him about double what he paid for that. As I recall, it was $1.2 million. He was able to sell most of the properties he didn't want. He sold those. He kept the ones he did want. He paid back his private money lender, and he ended up with a big pile of money, $600,000 in his pocket. But that was only because he consistently posted about what he was doing on Facebook. He did direct mail marketing. And he could have never predicted what would happen with his hedge fund. There's just no way he could have predicted that. So set up your marketing machine. Take the steps like we talked about in part 1. Set up your marketing machine. Your website will work for you 24/7. Your direct mail, do direct mail to off-market leads, off-market, people that have off-market properties, and just let that machine run, order your mail every month and let it go out. Do all of the things that we talked about in part 1. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Even if they've said no, you want to follow up. And as you go along, create some content. What will happen is all of this stuff will start to work together. You will find yourself one day with a rock solid brand. It won't happen overnight, but it's steps. You do these little things, build out your social media profiles. So decide on which ones you're going to use, build those out, get those all set up, decide on networking events and put them on your calendar. Don't look at these as distractions, as fun things away from your family. These are work-related events. They are for building your business. Find 1 or 3 online groups and participate in those. It might be, it can be any online real estate investor group. It can be a business networking group. You can decide, but set those up and participate. Don't be a lurker, as I said last time. Jump in there, take a chance and comment, and people will begin to remember you, and they will begin to think of you when they have a deal. And set up a YouTube channel and make some videos. Make some simple videos. They can be about houses. They can be about your rehabs. They can be about looking for deals. You don't even necessarily have to be on the camera, but you should be on camera because that's how people will remember you. But just make it easy. If you do these things over the next 12 months, you will look up in 12 months and you will be in a whole different place as far as your brand recognition, and your marketing will work a lot better once all of this stuff begins to work together. So I've mentioned a lot of freebies in part 1 and part 2. And I'll put the link to my blog, which has a ton of information for free. And it also has some freebies over there that you can get. You can get a marketing plan template, like I talked about in the last show. There is a branding document you can get where you can kind of take stock of what you've got, where you are, and where you need to go. I will have resources for your CRM, your customer relationship management system, which means that's where you're going to put your leads. You're going to put them in there, and there's a free version of this CRM too. So you can start for free, stay free as long as you want. But when you need to level up a little bit, there's the ability to do that at a very reasonable cost. If for logos and things like that, you can use Fiverr, or you can use 99 Designs, a little bit more expensive, but a little bit, that's an up-level version of it. For business cards, and yes, you do need business cards. You still need old-fashioned business cards. I like Vistaprint, and I will put a link to that in there. Websites, my go-to place is on Carrot, and I have a special link for you for that. CRM and for direct to mail, I'm going to give you a link to a company called Envelo. And you do want to use my link, because if the day comes, and when the day comes that you do direct mail, you can use this link to get your CRM. Then you will also get 10% off of your direct mail forever if you go through this link. I don't get anything out of that one, but that's a you thing. So check it out. Give Envelo a whirl. Use my link so that when you start to do direct mail, you can get the discount. And then always be reading. There are so many good books out there. And one I would encourage you to read is Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. This book will change your thinking around what you need to do in your business. Instead of learning how to do everything, it tells you to look for a who, where to start even if you're in the very beginning of your business, where do you start to outsource some things? So who, not how. And for all you women out there that think maybe this is a man's business, it's a man's world. Yes, there are a lot more men in this business, but you should check out a book called The Only Woman in the Room. It's an awesome book, and it's stories of other female investors that you will find inspiring and that you will love. And a lot of men have read this book and they feel the same way about it. So there is a place. If you're a woman listening to this and you think maybe there's not a place for you, there is definitely a place for you in this business. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you all back here next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now.